Now remember, supreme mathematics is 19. And no, that's not it. That's not it. Let me jump for a minute, y'all. All right, let me try over here. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of God upon the earth. And the first went, and the second angel, third angel. All right, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. So now you see the mark. But who got the mark? Let me see. 18, 20. So as you go on, 19, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. Now notice it say the image, you worship the image, and the image is separate from the mark. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. The false prophet and the beast. And the remnant were slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, which sword proceeded out of his mouth, and all the fowls were filled with their flesh. Right? Now, that's still not telling me how to identify the mark. Let me try one more thing. See how we can identify the mark of the beast. Because once you know what the mark is, hold on. Okay. Now, we want to find out what this mark of the beast is. It got an identifier. All right. So we go in here, chapter 13, the Queen's chapter. This ain't matching up. Let me look what I'm missing. What am I missing? That's good. This is not planned, so that's the best part about not planning it. You get to do it in real time. and then people could see you make the fumbles and the mistakes and all that kind of stuff in order to get the right. All right, so now this is what it tell you. Opened his mouth, blasphemed against God. He was giving him and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. Right? And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. Now y'all know that's Tupac, right? And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast, and they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war? And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things, and blasphemy, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. 42 months. That's a little less than 4 years. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy of God, and was given him to make war with the saints. And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Right? So now they're saying that it's a mark, but it's not the beast. It's just a mark. It's an identifier. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the money, I mean the mark, in the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it's the number of a man. So the number of the beast is the same as the number of the man, the carbon atom. And his number is 666. Now let's go back. Now I told y'all money is the mark. Now watch what it say. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now we all know right now the majority of people are right-handed. When you passing money or receiving money, it's always your right hand out, or you passing it with your right hand, right? So now, and it said that no man might buy or sell without, except him that had the mark or the money, right? Money is the mark. Remember, it's a dye marker in the water of life. It's showing you by following the money. What do they teach police and police science? If you want to find the criminals, you follow the money trail. The money will always lead you back to the source. Because one thing you can't separate is a greedy motherfucker from his money. So the money got to go back, because if it's all about the dollar, if the beast is relying upon the mark, the money, then the money has to be traceable back to the beast. I'm going to show you how to do it. But first you got to understand that the mark is not the beast. The mark is an identifier to follow in order to determine who the beast is. Okay, now you know they can't buy or sell without the mark in their right hand or in their forehead. So if they ain't talking about getting the money, and if they not exchanging the money, they thinking about the money. It's in their minds. It's in their forehead. Now, it say, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had a mark, or the name of the beast, money, or that's the Pope, or the number of his name. Now, here's wisdom. Let him that understand count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 score and 6. Now, I did not tell you that the mark or the number of the beast is 666 number. It does not tell you his name going to add up to 666. It don't tell you that. But we always like Ronald Wilson Reagan. He got 6 letters and each one is he the beast. No, he ain't the beast. He was a puppet. No man might buy or sell without this mark. He who have wisdom, let him count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. Now, they just identified a beast and a man having the same freaking number. And his number is 603 score and 6. So now they telling you that the 600, the 3 score, and the 6 added together is the identifier to who the beast is. So now, why is it making this specifically, this difference between the beast and the man? And that this number of a man is the same number of the beast to carry. It had to identify the gender. The gender had to be identified as the difference. The beast had to be a male, couldn't be a woman. They tell you that right here. And this is why they focus on the beast having the same number as a man. The age of majority is 18. It's a man. The woman's age of majority is 21, which is actually backwards. It's supposed to be the other way around. But in the patriarchal society, this is what we're dealing with. The woman actually matured before the man. 14-year-old girl is mentally on the same level as a 22-year-old dude. But we don't want to accept or acknowledge that fact. When you see these little girls taking these old dudes for all their money. But he the motherfucking problem. He the motherfucking pariah. But she breaking his ass. Y'all not paying attention. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the mountain, Mount Sion, and with him 144,000 having his father's name written in their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven as the voice of many waters and the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of the harps harping with their harps. And they sung as it were a new song before the throne. And so now let's analyze this money situation. Now, I told y'all that the number is the number of a man. It don't matter which, and it say, what is saying here? It says this is going to give you another clue. I don't even know why I'm doing this. I shouldn't even be ripping the veil back like this. I'll openly and freely like this, but I don't give a fuck. Let's go back. Chapter 13, once again. And I'm going to show y'all something else. All right. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here's wisdom. Him that have understanding, count the number of the beast, for it's the number of a man. Now look, if you really look at it, it's trickery involved in this verse. And I'm going to show you the trickery. Verse 18. Right? Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast. You see that colon? You see the colon right there? Okay, now that's like saying, and that means that's done. So the wise one can count the number of the beast, but then we need him to do something else. What does it say next? What does it say next? For it is the number of a man with another colon. That's a whole nother idea. Now watch this. There is no secret on the face of the bill We know $5 Abraham Lincoln. We know $1 is George Washington. We know $20 is Andrew Jackson. The number of a fucking man. This just so happened to be 5. The nickel. The buffalo. This is called a buffalo note. This is not a dollar. The 5, the increment of 5 is called a buffalo note. Find out what that is with the natives. It's a buffalo note. The origin of this, and the reason it's called the buffalo note, is because what we would consider $5 was the equivalent of a buffalo tail. You do the math. I'm just saying. Y'all don't know y'all history, so I got to try to tell y'all, sneak a little bit of it in and who you are and what you're from. The mark is the dollar. The mark is the dollar. You got that, India? The mark is the dollar. The number of the man is on each denomination. Okay, let me tell you what I mean. That's Tupac. Let me make sure ain't no more questions before I get into that. India, I told you that's Tupac that looked like he was wounded. See, when you use this book, it's a formula to knowing who is who, what's what time it is, and where they at. I can tell you everything going on in the world using this same book that they stole from Egypt. Now y'all got to keep, I got to keep saying, I can't say that enough. They stole this. The Babylonians, they got us all over here suffering, pretending to be white people, pushing white supremacy as the tool of oppression. They look like us. They stole this. In Babylon, they put it out and supplemented it with Babylonian mysticism. So you find out all of your Khazarians, Ashkenazi, Sephardi, Zionists practice what they call Babylonian money magic. And they also take control of people using what they call GULLUM magic. Now they tell us that the GULLUM is a clay thing that is animated through incantation, but what they don't tell you is that's only part of it. The GULLUM look just like a human made of clay. Wait a minute. It was somebody else made from dirt, clay, mud. Who was that? I think it's in the same book that they stole from Egypt. When Khonsu was sitting there spinning that wheel, he made somebody. And the heaven and earth was finished, and all the hosts of them, and on the 7th day, God ended his work. Wait a minute. Okay, but so God didn't even make man in the first 7 days. Ain't that something? We an afterthought. Because he rested before he made us. He must have needed a whole lot of rest to make some motherfuckers as fucked up as us, because that had to be a lot of work. It's like, let me read this for y'all right here. Every plant in the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For the Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. There went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. That means that water evaporated, formed into a cloud, and it rained. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground. Now remember, right before this, it rained, so this is mud. This is mud. And breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. That's an incantation, a chant. And man became a living soul. Man became a living soul. And the Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden. And there he put the man whom he had formed. Now notice it don't never say created. And the Lord God formed the man. He formed him from the dust of the ground after it rained. So that means it had to be mud, because it say, but there went up a mist from the earth, water evaporated, and watered the whole face of the ground, meaning there was a global rain. The flood hadn't happened yet because Noah wasn't born, because Adam wasn't made. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground. This wet dust is going to become what? Mud, right? And breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. He walked up to him and he said an incantation, and he followed the incantation with a. You see it all the time in ceremonial rites of the shaman, so don't play dumb. And the man became a living soul, meaning that this clay thing became animated.